Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Sagittarius for the new moon in Leo. So new moons are always a great time to set intentions, create a fresh start in your life. And this new moon in Leo in particular is a great time to build confidence, to take initiative on something in your life, and to create independence. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Let's go ahead and dive in here and see what's coming forward for you during this July 24th new moon in Leo. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so you can take the messages that resonate. If there are messages you don't resonate with, you can drop those messages, and then feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs as well. Now, the timeline on this reading is from the 24th of July all the way until August 9th. Reason I chose August 9th is that is the full moon in Aquarius. Now, you'll feel the energies of this new moon primarily or around the 24th, so 5 days before, 5 days after July 24th. That is when you'll feel the energies most. But new moon intentions can go all the way out to 6 months, sometimes a year. So the intentions you're setting now could play out over a period of time, okay? Regardless, energy on the bottom, you have the Hermit card. So I love this Hermit card here. You're the second fire sign to get the Hermit card. You know, this is an energy of soul seeking, you know, or soul searching, I should say. I like soul seeking too, but soul searching, right? Trying to find the answers from within. This may mean that you're entering into a period of self-study. There may be something you're really, really interested in diving deep on. You may be reading, picking up books, listening to podcasts, watching documentaries, watching YouTube videos, like trying to gather information, doing like a period of self-study on something that you feel really inspired to look at. These sorts of things, but it can also be much deeper in that you're trying to understand why something is the way it is in your situation or even about yourself. Nines in the tarot typically connect to the self. It connects to you, okay? So these are types of energies that are coming forward for you on the bottom here. This is also an energy of wisdom, you know, when you look at the Hermit card and mastery. So some of you, through this process of picking up information, picking up knowledge, you may kind of like be well on your way towards mastery in a specific subject, okay, as well. So generally good sign here, and I will expect to see this card come forward a lot in this set of readings. You're just the second sign I'm doing so far. You have another card that I'm expecting to see a lot, which is the Ace of Wands. Leo also had that card. Love that for this new moon in Leo. We'll dive into that more as we go along. You definitely have something to contemplate here, okay? Some of you are really taking a deep look, having a deep think on something. Right away in the middle, you have the Eight of Swords. So some of you here, there may be a need or a desire to sort of calm the mind a little bit, okay? This person here, you can see that they are restricted and blindfolded, and they're surrounded by all of these swords. This can represent the feeling of imprisonment, but it's mental imprisonment, okay? Each one of these swords is a thought, okay? So this idea of like, I think some of you feel a little bit trapped, or there's something that you don't have the answer to right away, and it's creating this sort of like rumination type of energy, okay? Or this, I think the better way of looking at the Eight of Swords is less about rumination, more about like you may feel frozen, okay? You may be freezing up on something, okay? With this Eight of Swords card here in the middle. And certainly this could be connected to a choice that you have to make, and you're just not entirely sure what direction to go, okay? Or you may even be, you're going to get a clear sense of direction here, actually. By the way, as we close out the first part of this reading, so you're going to get a clear direction, a clear sense of direction at the very least. But right now, there's something that is you maybe feel like there's some resistance in your situation, or you feel trapped a little bit here. The nice thing is you have the Hermit, which to me, it would suggest that you're really trying to dive into why this is the way it is. Okay. So, for example, like maybe you're in a 9 to 5, right? Or you just have a demanding job and it's like, okay, so then why can't I enjoy myself outside of work, right? Like some of you are like looking at the deeper layer, the deeper meaning of why it is the way it is, right? Or why something is the way it is right now. In the first column, you have the Death card, the the Three of Swords, and the World card. So this is a big combination, the World and the Death card. These are strong cards in the tarot. And you have the Three of Swords in between. This is kind of a lot here, right? So the Death card, it can represent a transformation in one's life. It's really a change, a big change, okay? You can see that I love the illustration of this Death card because this is Kali Ma, right? Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of, this is the destroyer of fear, okay? Kali Ma is the destroyer of fear. And this represents you overcoming something that you may be fearful of or initiating a change. And you may be afraid to make this change, but you're going through with it anyway. And one thing's for sure, if you undergo a transformation or a change, you break through the fear, you will feel much better on the other side. Okay, that's the way that I like to approach the Death card. So yes, it can signify a major, major shift, change, or transformation in one's life. And you have this here with another major card, which is the World. Okay, a very strong card in the World. The reason I'm not stressed about this is primarily because of the World, but also the World, it indicates, the World indicates success, even like worldly success at its highest vibration, right? Like somebody who's maybe well known or something along those lines. The World can also, primarily, it's around the closing of a cycle or chapter in one's life, okay? And I'm kind of getting this term, like, I don't know why this is coming in, but this idea of like symbiosis. Okay, I think you're understanding connections, like how everything's sort of like fitting together for you, okay? And like how many times in life there are dependents, like there are dependencies in our lives. So like, um, you know, something not going well, something that's going on at work, it's not going well, and therefore I get sick. Okay, or there's like a connection or a dependency here. So like, and I don't. How do I explain this? Not in the sense that you're dependent, but in the sense that things are linked together. Okay, so I'm looking at this World card, and you see the sort of like Mother Earth energy here, and how like everything's kind of in a certain way. There's a symbiosis. Things are connected, right? And I get the sense that some of you are kind of seeing a connection here, and you're diving deep on this with the Hermit, the World, the Death card, and you're going to initiate some change. And this is a great, great time to do something bold, okay, to set a really strong intention for yourself during this new moon. You do have the Three of Swords, which can indicate separation from something, okay? Certainly it could be a relationship, but it can also be really anything that you have to separate from, that your heart is in, okay? So let's try to, I'll be interested to see how this clarifies, okay? In the middle column here, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Tower. You have two cards that people, many times, they're afraid of these cards. It's really on how you kind of try to approach tarot. While the Death card for me is more about change and transformation, the Tower card, it can be an upheaval, it can be a shock to the system, it can be a revelation, okay? The fact that you have it with the World here and the Eight of Swords is kind of, from my perspective, looking pretty good. The reason being is with this Eight of Swords, this person needs to shake something up, okay? They can't stay here trapped forever. And the Tower and the Death card could bring a significant shakeup in one's life, all right? So this may mean that you are setting course on something completely new in your situation 5 days before, 5 days after, or on the new moon. And, again, this intention might be strong. And this intention, it may take some months to play out. But there's, like, a potential shakeout here for some of you. And I think, like, if you, I don't know, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you'll look back at this time and you'll be like, yeah, I see why that had to happen, right? This idea of, like, a connection to something here. Like, things are interlinked. Things are connected here for you during this period of time. Um, I'm using a technical term, this idea of a dependency. I used to be a programmer, so I'm like trying to like come up with a different word, but like just like there's something that's connected here that is affecting another part of your life. Okay, so this this is pretty strong. That this feeling I have is pretty strong for you. Okay, so um, it could be like just your living situation is affecting your work, or your work is affecting your living situation, or there's something else going on here that's having a ripple effect in your situation at this time, right? This is kind of where I'm getting at here. And I think it's coming in with this Eight of Swords. There needs to be a shakeout, right? And I think this is going to be pretty positive for you, especially because of these other cards. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is like this highest vibration of the suit of Pentacles. It can indicate like a really nice increase in abundance. It's family energy as well, by the way. When you get the Ten of Pentacles card, and yeah, inheritances, estates. But if that's not the case for some of you, which I'll be real, this could be on the table for some of you. If that's not on the case, you might, if that's not on the cards or the case for you, you might be just looking at like ways to increase your sort of like financial situation. Let's move to this final column. You have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Okay, Ace of Wands, this is my favorite ace in the tarot. It's initiation, okay? This is the perfect time to take initiative in one's life. This new moon in Leo, there couldn't be a better energy for this. Okay, yes, it's during a retrograde. Yes, things may be delayed. But regardless, this is getting started on something here with this Ace of Wands. Seems very, very positive. Okay? The Ace of Wands is all about the spark of life. Okay, this could be developments in a new business that you've started. Okay, this could be getting something off the ground. This is a great card for side hustles. The Ace of Wands is a very, very positive energy, and it can bring a breath of fresh air into your situation, which is really what this new moon in Leo, from my perspective, is about. You then have the Eight of Pentacles, which, this can ask the question of dedication, or you may be looking at the question of dedication in your situation. And usually it's dedication and work, but in a love reading, it may mean like, okay, or is this person dedicated to me, and vice versa. Looking at that, right, type of energy. But the other thing here is this is a card of talents as well. So with the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, I think I'm looking at some talented people here. I'm talking with some talented people, and I like this Three of Cups, right? The Three of Cups, it can talk about like joy, celebration, good times with others, letting loose, enjoying yourself. All right, so yes, sometimes Three of Swords, Three of Cups is a challenging like third party situation, right? Which it's possible. We'll have to go through and clarify, but I'm getting a good vibe here from this Three of Cups because of the energy of these other cards. So let's try to clarify. All right, let's get some more details on what's coming forward for you here, Sagittarius. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off by pulling some oracle cards for you. And then we'll move into the tarot clarifications. Okay, you have Azrael, Transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. I love that message for you, okay? Learning from experience here, and maybe leading on these experiences to continue to build confidence during this new moon in Leo. You have Faith, moving mountains. Trust in your ability to create miracles. The impossible is becoming possible. Then you have Raguel, waves of healing. Be open and vulnerable, as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. This time is all about taking initiative or initiating a new beginning. Like this word, this variety of word is very, very important during this time. And cool, you have a card that doesn't really come around often. Orion, manifestation vortex. Focus your energy with unwavering faith to manifest the outcome you require. Okay? And Raziel, the inner workings. There are hidden truths below the surface. Dig deeper. Okay? very similar to this Hermit card, right? The Hermit card, it's Virgo energy, right? Very good at diving deep, getting into the intricacies of something and the way something is. But I like this idea of the manifestation vortex for you as well. Let's see what else we have here. Let's move into the tarot clarifications now. Sagittarius, really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. Take a look at what we have for you here, Sagittarius. Okay, you have Page of Cups, Hierophant, and the Eight of Cups. So the world here, it represents a cycle closing out. I was talking about this idea of like connection between all things in one's life. I'm just getting that vibe. But, it is a completion. It's a big completion, a successful completion. And the Eight of Cups, it may mean that you are letting go of something. You're closing a door. But it feels like there is, you're closing this door after having had some success. In your situation. So it seems like a harmonious or a positive closure of something here taking place. The Hierophant is a card that indicates tradition, This can indicate an elder in one's life. I do think that there is a timeline where maybe there's an inheritance here for some of you, okay? That's on the table. Now, on another level, that won't be for everyone, okay? But the Hierophant can also indicate. Remember, the energies that you'll feel from this new moon are going to be stronger 5 days before, 5 days after the 24th, or on the 24th, okay? I would also say, like, the Hierophant, it can indicate marriage, right? Marriage. And so there may be something here that's going on in the love situation that I want to get more details on. You do have Page of Cups, which it can indicate you having a dream and, like, having the opportunity to look into this, especially as you have the Hermit and the Page of Cups. There may be news of some intention that you've previously set on a previous new moon that's coming in here, okay? And yeah, I really want to see what's going on here with this relationship stuff. You have the Knight of Cups, you have the Four of Swords, and you have the Two of Wands. You know that song, Through the Fire? I'm not going to attempt to sing because nobody wants to hear me sing Sagittarius. But you know that song, Through the Fire? Look, this is good energy for you. The Two of Wands, it's like through the chaos, right? Through the fire. There is some type of great potential that's kind of coming forward. It's this idea of like rising from the ashes, okay? Yeah, there may be a shift here with the Tower, for sure. There may be a change, absolutely. That's happening. Death card, Tower. You've got this idea of walking away. But the Two of Wands, it indicates amazing potential in one's life. And it may also say that you kind of have a path to go down or a choice to make on which direction to head towards, right? It generally feels pretty good. Okay, you may be a little surprised at how good the outcome is for you here in the future as you look at this period of time, 5 days before, 5 days after. You then have the Four of Swords, which can be all about rest, recovery, recuperation, rejuvenation, taking a moment. Four of Swords is maybe a time, especially with the Hermit, to put your mind at ease, to calm your thoughts a little bit here, and to try to take something step by step, day by day. And I think that some of you are taking a moment here to figure out, why is it that I feel stuck? Or why is it that I feel a little trapped, a little frozen right now with this Eight of Swords? Why? You're kind of putting the pieces together, okay? Knight of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, it feels like there's something really nice that's happening, that's aligning for you here in terms of your abundance timelines. Again, these could take some time to play out, but Knight of Cups is a happy event that's on the way, and the Page of Cups, which comes before the Knight, is happy news, okay? I'm still unsure of what's going on here with this Three of Swords, Hierophant, Knight of Cups. So let's get some answers on that in the final column here. You do have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands, and you have the Six of Cups. You know, intuitively, it just doesn't feel like this is connected to a love storyline for you. It doesn't. It feels like it's something else. Okay? It feels like with this Hierophant, I'm trying to put the pieces together here. The Hierophant, it can be elders, it can be tradition, it can be marriage. Okay? Could there be a change in that? Yeah, there could. In your marriage situation, yeah. I mean, Death card, Tower, Hierophant, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords. This is possible. Five of Pentacles, this is possible. I think there's probably like a separation of assets or settlement that's connected to this in some way. This is where I'm getting like I'm trying to figure this out because there absolutely could be a settlement there for sure, or some sort of like divvying up of items and assets and whatever with that Ten of Pentacles, and some of you may even see this as an opportunity as well. There may be opportunity here. I know it's like sort of hard to hear that, but it may, some of you may be seeing it that way. But I think for a larger majority of you, there seems to be some of you may be walking into some money here, okay? And this could be connected to family of origin, like the family you were born into. Hierophant, Six of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. And, these sorts of things are bittersweet. It's great to receive money that you haven't worked for, of course. That's like a major blessing. But on the other side, there's somebody attached to that, right? There's somebody else that is associated with that, and to see them maybe move on could be challenging. Some of you may actually be dealing with something like this here at this time. On another level, I think that some of you are returning to your kind of like childlike joy around an area here. You're maybe reconnecting with your child self with the Six of Cups and the Three of Cups. You're doing something, if it's not about anything else that I've been talking about, it's like you're kind of taking moments to really enjoy yourself here. Yeah. And it could be around like, okay, I'm now unstuck. I've removed this idea of being frozen, and I'm now enjoying myself. Eight of Wands, there's good news coming your way here. Maybe connected to a career situation with the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. There's something pushing ahead, and the Five of Pentacles says, absolutely during this time, do not allow thoughts of scarcity to enter into your mind. Okay, absolutely not, especially during a new moon, right? These new moon intentions are very powerful. They're very, very powerful. And do not allow thoughts of scarcity to come in, because you can create your life here at this time. Here we are. Leo energy on the bottom, right? New moon Leo, Queen of Wands. Be confident, be bold, be courageous in the next step during this time for yourself. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper energies here for you, Sagittarius. Okay, you have the Distant Horizons, you have Coffin, Privileged Lady, Community, Great Fortune, and Occupation. Well, if there's ever like an inheritance combination here, Community, Great Fortune, Coffin, maybe, that could be it. That could be it. There's also an opportunity here for those who are self-employed. This is a self-employment combination, Great Fortune, Occupation, according to the author, that there could be major increases in what you're like in how money's coming in terms of your self-employment. Okay, this is the combination you want to find, for sure. Yeah. One thing's for sure, there's a shift here happening. This could take some months to play out, but the future looks very, very bright for you. And here's this Eight of Swords again on the bottom. There's something that you're looking to unfreeze, okay, in a certain way. And in doing that, you're getting pretty excited about the future here for you. Sagittarius, this is what I have. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.